What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys have yourselves a great weekend. We are back with another episode of the Auburn Podcast channel, where last night the Auburn Tigers defeated the Tennessee Volunteers 53-51 in one of the ugliest. Was it the ugliest? It was probably one of the ugliest games that I have ever seen. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. So the first part of maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes into the game, I didn't get to see because number one, they still had the Kansas and Houston game going on, and then second, I was also in the middle of doing something at the time of it. But when I go to watch the game on like ESPN or I can't remember, yeah, it was on ESPN now. And when I go to watch the game, it's like 14 minutes left in the first half. Okay. And we'll go through the stats and everything to make sure I'm right. But it was like 14 minutes left in the first half, and Tennessee is already in the bonus. Was 14 minutes left in the first half. Normally, that usually tells me that the officiating is probably going to be garbage. Needless to say, very garbage. Like, it makes no sense on the account of, like, I thought I hated Pat Adams officiating. I hate this just as much. It was like the officiating was just terrible. It's just like there were times where like Bruce and Rick Barnes, where the whistle gets called, they'll look at each other and they're just like, I don't know who's it, and it was just so so frustrating and just so tiresome to watch. It was just garbage. Now Auburn didn't play well either, but a lot of that you can probably attribute to the way the officials were calling the game. It definitely looked like they let Tennessee get away with a lot more than what Auburn did, and it's just and again, we'll look at everything here on the ESPN, the stats and everything here in a second, but good God, and like this game was hyped. You had College Game Day, I think they said this was the 64th consecutive setup crowd. You had it was setting up to be a great night of basketball, and then we got what we got. Give credit to Tennessee, Zakai Ziegler, very talented basketball player. Tennessee deserves a lot of credit, and just the way they play, like the style, like if Tennessee is allowed to be physical, they will wear you down, and we saw it here in this game. Tennessee was wearing Auburn down for sure, but also vice versa. I think Auburn was probably like wearing Tennessee down a little bit, but it was just like, I am happy for the win. Like, terrible shot making all over the place, just nothing was going down. Everything was just bouncing off the rim for both teams throughout the entire game. It was just one of the ugliest basketball games that we have seen in quite some time. And so Janai Broome also came back too, which I figured as much when I talked about it, I think on Wednesday when I was doing the Auburn football roundup episode, that I figured that he would be back for this game. And he was, but you could tell he definitely was not 100%. Which he did enough, even though he wasn't 100%. I think he had like 16, 18 points, 8 or 9 rebounds, and about 5 assists, I think it was. So even though he wasn't 100%, he was very close to 100%. So, but man, it was just insane to watch this game for sure. Let's see. But let's look at it. Let's look at everything. I mean, like, look at these fouls. 2, 4, 1, 2, 2, One of their, I guess this was a bench player. Yeah, bench player. He fouled out. But Auburn here, Cheney 10, Dillon 4, Chad Baker had an off night. Devin Jones had an off night. Miles Kelly had an off night. Broom, he did relatively well. Tahad Pettifer, he did what he needed to do. He did have towards the end of the game. He did get it down to a 2-point, the 2-point game after Broom missed a free throw towards the end of the game. But it was just like nobody shot good. Like Tennessee field goal, they were like 31%, 3-point, 18. Like both teams are like percentages when it comes to free throws and field goals. Both teams are virtually dead even in that category. I'm interested to see about Ja'Kai Howard. I had been noticing like on Twitter a lot. He has been tweeting a lot of stuff lately. Not like bad, not bad, but like Bible verses and stuff like that. And it looks like last night it probably just was not a good moment, a good night for him and Bruce, because like he went to the locker room. A couple of coaches went, from what I've read and everything. A couple of coaches went and talked with him, and I to be quite honest with you guys, I don't know. Obviously, we're far away from again this being decided or this happening and things like that. But I honestly would not be surprised if Ja'Kai Howard's not on the team next year. He just seems to be like we had the whole thing earlier in the season with as him and Jaheim Hudson. Just him not giving the effort that needs to be there at times, and so it's just again we got a ways to go before the season's over for like any of that is like fully decided, and maybe things change. Maybe he gets his act together and he contributes, because you already missed out with JP Pegues not doing anything for you. So it's because Jaheim Hudson, they don't have the minutes on here yet. Let me see it for me. Let me see if they added the minute. No, they haven't added the minutes yet. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see how things go. I'm sure Bruce was probably asked about that in the post game press conference and things like that. So, so let's look at everything here. Yeah, I mean, field goal. Ooh, look at that ugly 3-point shooting. The one for Auburn, they got the one that they need, and that was Miles Kelly making a shot. It's just that 3-point shot is what sealed the deal that allowed Auburn to get out of this game with a victory. But man, shooting was bad. 18%, 15%. Both teams, you can say, both teams went to the line a good bit. They did. I know, I can't remember earlier in the game, but I know Broom, he missed one. And then Tahad Pettifer, he missed one, but he made a second one. But rebounds, Auburn obviously won that. They both about even in the defensive rebound. Auburn has a slight advantage in offense. Assist about even, steals about even, blocks, Auburn obviously, turnovers about even. It was just fouls, just 17 for Tennessee, 16 for Auburn. There was never really like a large lead in this game whatsoever, because 6-4. So it's yeah, man, it's what a win. What a win, having the battle against Tennessee and the officiating. I'm not going to stop talking about it. Like normally depending on the situation. If it's like Pat Adams, then obviously I'm going to like criticize the officiating. Most cases I don't. I normally just, be like, that's a stupid call, that kind of thing. But this was just stupid. This was just dumb in terms of officiating, because it was just, it's ridiculous. So Auburn now. Woo, look at that. Look at all those wins. All those wins. Unanimous, number one team. This was another. I think this is it should have been their 11th quad one win. So now they got back-to-back road games. They got to go on the road to LSU, which they're playing Alabama, or they played Alabama last night. Did they win? I doubt it. No, they lost. So now, because now we're getting into February, so you got to go on the road to LSU, on the road to Ole Miss. And the Ole Miss one can be very, very tricky. And then we get like you got LSU as your final January game, and then March. I mean, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Florida, Vanderbilt, who just beat Kentucky last night as well after just beating Tennessee. You got to play them between Florida and Alabama, and it's just it's not easy. There's no easy wins in the SEC this year, and like again, the SEC is probably going to be looking at getting at least 12 teams in this season, and then Auburn won the game, and like the way they won the game. When you're gunning for a championship, you're gonna have to win games like this. I mean, and they did. This isn't like the first time they have had to win games like this. I think this season there's been a few, like probably like the non-conference slated games, Iowa State, Houston, particularly the Houston games. When you want to win a championship, you're going to be playing against these really talented teams in the Elite Four, in the Elite Eight, Elite Eight, Final Four. I don't know why I said it like that. So Auburn found a way to win. They got the job done. We're going to see how things go moving forward. But that's pretty much it, you guys. That's all I have for y'all. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.